What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Gregorian. Yes, indeed. How about that? Gregorian making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Harold Penrose III. And Harold Penrose III wanted to see me react to this song. It is Gregorian putting their spin on the Uriah Heep song, Lady in Black. Now, have I heard this song before? Believe it or not, I don't think I have. I've never been a big follower of Uriah Heep. I know that's kind of hard to believe, but I'm aware of a Uriah Heep's existence. I know of their existence. I know they've been around for a long time. But I don't think I've ever heard any songs from Uriah Heep, as far as I know. Now, I could be very wrong about that, and I could have heard this song in passing, but even if that's the case, I've never heard Gregorian do this song. I can almost guarantee you that. Now, even then, there is a slight chance that I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, are you kidding me? I have heard this song before. I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Ducia J-Rock, okay? And the video has 2.7 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Gregorian, Lady in Black. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Destruction lay around me from a fight I could not win.
It's working. I wasn't sure about the bass coming in, playing those 8 notes. I wasn't sure about the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I felt like at first, when it first came in, I'll be honest with you, I felt like it was a little excessive and I felt like it was a little abrupt. But once the vocals came in over it and the drums came in with their pattern, it felt a lot better. It still feels on top, which, I mean, it's supposed to, I suppose. I don't think this is a song where you want the bass to be laid back in the pocket. I think this is a song that you want the bass to be on top. I just wonder how it would have sounded with quarter notes instead. Just instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and what if the bass had come in and just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I mean legato. Definitely with a legato feel to it, but so you have that full sound. But what if they had just come in with downbeats only, just on 1, 2, 3, 4, as opposed to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I don't know. Listening to what's happening within the drums and within the vocals, with what the bass is doing, it definitely fits. It fits now. It felt weird when it first came in, though. If I'm being honest, I was 100% sure about it, but it's fitting now, so it works. It's good. So this is that. I've heard of Gregorian style chanting. I've heard of this being a thing, especially in the 90s. This was a thing. This was a big fad. As a matter of fact, I think song, not this particular song, but I vaguely remember there were some Gregorian chant songs that actually, if I'm not mistaken, got radio play. So this was a thing. I remember that. I didn't know it was still relevant today. I wasn't aware of that. So is it? Is it still relevant today? I honestly don't know. I couldn't tell you. Let's keep going here. Hi-hat helps. Okay. The hi-hat coming in helped, especially with what's happening in with the kick. The kick and the hi-hat are working together to make the bass sound a lot more smooth, I guess is the best way to put it. The hi-hat's coming in with those straight eights, but with the accent on the downbeat. So it's slight, but it is there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and meanwhile, the kick, you got this ba-doom, ba, ba-boom, boom, ba-boom, boom, boom, ba-boom, boom, boom, with that little pickup right before 1 on the of 4 right before the 1. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. You see what I mean? If you break it down to 6 notes, the 16th notes, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2. You see what I mean? It's a nice pickup by the kick to really kind of help push the song along and make what's happening within the bass feel smoother between the hi-hat and the kick. It's really making the bass sound good right now. It's really smooth things over. Let's keep going here. a nice touch. Could have been a little better there. So this is appropriate. The mix on the guitar solo could have been a little bit better. I feel like the guitar solo kind of got buried by the vocalizations. I understand that the chanting is supposed to be the highlight. I get that. I understand that. But if you're going to have a guitar solo come in, especially a really nice guitar solo like what was there, it's kind of a shame to have it get buried by anything. You know what I mean? It really should have been the spotlight. Bring the chant down underneath the guitar solo. Not under everything else, just have the guitar solo be a little bit louder than the chant and bring the chant down a little bit. And then when the guitar solo is over, it's out and bring the volume back up on the chanting again. It was kind of a shame to see the guitar solo get buried a little bit. That was kind of a bummer. But here's the thing. Once the guitar solo was done, the levels that they had for the chant was spot on, right where it should be. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But, well, I do know how I feel about it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. I like that acoustic guitar. Strum, really nice. We still got a minute. Glockenspiel, nice. This may be what the original does, so. The guitar solo in the very far background. That was great. Not sure. I'm not. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. This might be the hardest one I've had to think about the whole day of shooting today. Which is funny because it's the last video I'm filming today. Figures. They would save the hardest one for last, right? It figures. All right, let me give me a few minutes. I'm going to need more than a couple minutes. This is not going to be something I'm going to decide on in 5 minutes. I'm going to need a little more time than that. Give me some time to think about this. Let me really get my thoughts together. And I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Gregorian with their rendition of the Uriah Heep song, Lady in Black. This was a request from Harold Penrose III. Okay, I sat here, no joke, for about 15 minutes, and I kept juggling scores, man. Just when I thought I had the score, nope, shouldn't flip it over to this one.
But the beat goes on.
And then I thought I had it, nope, shouldn't flip it over to this one over here. I mean,
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
I must have flip-flopped between at least 11 different scores. I mean, I kid you not. I was here for a while. Just bing, bop, booping all over the place. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm still not 100% sold on this score, but this is the score that I kept coming back to the most. So I'm going to stick with it for now. Now, while I'm talking here, I might change my mind. It's very possible. So bear with me. But this is the score that I feel the most comfortable with. I'm not 100% set on it though. So we'll see what happens. Maybe while I'm talking, maybe I will set my mind. I don't know, but I don't want to waste any more time. So let's get to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to say this. Provisionally, I'm going to give this an 8.1. Yep, 8.1. So far, I feel the best out of the scores that I've come up with this score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first. I did not recognize the song. Now, it is a cover, and it is a cover that is way out in left field. I mean, I'm sure this doesn't sound anything like the original. It probably doesn't. I can't imagine Uriah Heep, which is a rock band, writing a song that has this type of a feel and this type of a sound. And I have a feeling Gregorian just took this and completely reworked it, which I give them a ton of praise for doing. But I don't know how accurate it is to the original. I don't know how accurate it is to the original tempo, the original key, the original everything else, the original feel. I don't know. I don't have anything to compare it to. So I'm gonna have to kind of treat this, even though I understand it's a cover, I'm gonna have to kind of treat this like an original. Okay, I mean, because I don't have an original to compare it to, so I kind of have to compare this as its own song. Which right there, it presents a challenge. It sounded really good. Like I've heard some Gregorian chant stuff in the past, and I've always kind of been captivated by it because a lot of what they do, well, most of what they do is reliant completely on vocal delivery and vocal ability. So the vocals were about what I was expecting, if I'm being honest here. I didn't hear anything surprising. I didn't hear anything shocking compared to what I've heard from Gregorian chant in the past. It was right up to par. Okay, it met my expectations completely. Okay, I really had to kind of base my score over what was happening with everything else. The guitar work, the bass work, the drumming, the other instrumentations, the scoring, the arrangement, everything else I had to kind of take into consideration to really kind of base my score on. It felt good. It felt really good through the entire song for the most part. My biggest gripe, and here's the thing, my gripe will be eliminated later on, was the entrance of the bass with that eighth note pattern. I can't get over it. It just felt very abrupt, the way it entered. But here's the thing. I wondered what would have happened if it had come out with quarter notes as opposed to eighth notes. Just playing on the downbeats, the 1, 2, 3, 4, with a legato feel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, like that. I wonder how it would have felt. But then I thought about it, and when the drums came in and the hi-hat came in particular, with the kick, all of a sudden those eighth notes made perfect sense. Like, perfect sense. I wouldn't have changed a dang thing. Which then raises the question, should we have come in with quarter notes and then switch to eighth notes? And my answer to that is an emphatic no. To switch from quarters to eighths would have felt very awkward. Like, very awkward. I don't think that would have sounded good at all. So then you have to look at the lesser of two evils. Would it sound better just to come in with the eighths and stay with the eighths because it makes more sense to the rest of the song, or come in with quarter notes, which sounded, I think it would have sounded a lot better and a lot smoother but then have it switch to eighths, which would have been an absolute, I don't want to say train wreck, but it would have sounded very jarring, and it would have sounded very abrupt, and quite honestly could have potentially put me off for the rest of the song. So between the lesser of two evils, I gotta say, starting with the eighth notes and keeping the eighth notes the entire song makes more sense. It does make more sense for the entire time. So, gotta go with it. I mean, I may not be the biggest fan of that entrance, but taking the rest of the song in consideration, it makes sense. It does make sense. So I'm gonna go with that. The guitar work sounded really nice. I loved that guitar solo. It's kind of a shame that at times it got buried over the with the vocals. I understand that it's Gregorian. I get that. I understand the Gregorian chant is supposed to be the focus. I get that. If that's the case, I would recommend one of two things. Well, one of three things, actually. One, which I would think would be the worst idea, eliminate the guitar solo completely. I don't like that idea. I think the guitar solo was really tasty. I think it was really well done, and it would be a shame to get rid of it. But that is an option. Option number two, during the guitar solo, just have no chanting, period. Just let the guitar solo play. Leave the chant out. When the guitar solo is over, bring the chant back in. That is an option, and I think it's a perfectly valid option. Option number three, what if you want to have the chant in there, fine. Have the chant in there while the guitar solo is going on, but mix it so that here's the guitar level, here's the chant level. Right now it's this. Switch it. Have the guitar level here. Have the chant level here, underneath. So that way you have the guitar solo really have a chance to shine without worrying about getting buried by the vocal work. Again, I understand it's Gregorian, and the vocals are supposed to be the focus. But if you're gonna do a guitar solo, it's a real shame, and I would dare say criminal, to bury a really nice and tastefully done guitar solo with the vocals, which are just doing a descending line anyway. So I don't understand why that happened, but it is what it is. I personally, if it were me doing the mix and doing the arranging, I would have just left it out. I would have left the chanting out during the guitar solo. Maybe shorten the solo a little bit for the sake of bringing the vocals in a little sooner. I think either one of those options is perfectly valid. But I mean, you could do any of those four. I think it would have solved the big problem. But for me personally, it is an issue. It absolutely is an issue. Having said all that, though, I mean, it does sound like a really nice song. It sounds like it was well constructed. It sounds like it was well arranged. I mean, but again, I don't know the original, so I can compare it and see how accurate it was. I kind of have to look at it as its own song. As its own song, it was enjoyable to listen to. It has some great layering done. The vocals, like I said, they met my expectations compared to what I've heard from Gregorian chant in the past. So that wasn't really all that much of a surprise. But overall, I think it's a great arrangement. I think it's a great song. I'm kind of curious to hear the original now. I may have to go listen to the original, not for a reaction, just to listen to it on my own and compare it and see how accurate it was, how close it was. I think I might have to do that. But yeah, 8.1 is a great score. I just kind of wish that the biggest factor for me was the guitar solo. The bass, it still kind of irritates me, but like I said, lesser of two evils, so it makes sense. But the guitar solo still kind of bugs me. You know what, though? Taking the bass into account, no, we're gonna keep it. 8.1. I was thinking about right there about boosting it to an 8.2. No. 8.1. Let's stick with that. I like that score. Let's stick with it, finalize it, and be done with it. So, 8.1, final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.